Who is Rodney Guillory?
Rodney Guillory is an interesting personality. Rodney is a guy who wears a lot of different hats, and he's kind of the ultimate chameleon in the AAU college professional basketball runner world. He has an ability to charm you and at the same time plot against you in the blink of an eye. He has an amazing personality in terms of being able to switch from one thing to another at a moment's whim. I mean, just like that.
What did Rodney want to do with O.J.'s career?
He wanted to be O.J.'s Maverick. He wanted to be Maverick to O.J. He wanted to be the guy that goes out and markets him, builds his brand, guides his career, and essentially becomes like this personality within himself. The story, this thing wasn't just about O.J., it was also about Rodney and him wanting to be a star. He wanted to be the guy. He wanted to have his ego fed. He wanted his butt kissed. And everybody who dealt with him saw that, experienced that, or felt it on some level.
How does the cash get from the agent to the runner without being spotted by the NCAA?
Well, the fact of the matter is the NCAA rules in this situation kind of are a joke. The way they have this thing set up right now, the NCAA, it kind of allows the runner system to thrive. Basically, if you have a relationship with a kid, or you know someone who has a relationship with a kid prior to him becoming a recruitable prospect, well, then you can pretty much do whatever you want to do with them within reason. And that's an NCAA rule. You can do that. And so the fact of the matter is, if you want to get money to someone, if you're fortunate enough to set up a relationship with someone who has had a relationship with that individual prior to, then you can funnel money right through them very easily.
Did USC have any idea that any of these NCAA violations were going on at the time that O.J. was playing for the program?
No. Not to my knowledge. I mean, when O.J. went through his compliance hearing in terms of being cleared to be eligible to play at USC, I mean, they interviewed Rodney as part of that process. So somehow, some way, there were a lot of things that were said convincingly enough, and it wasn't easy. I mean, it took them a long time to clear O.J., and part of the reason is everyone knew there was something happening here. They just couldn't prove it.
How are you saving O.J. by pointing out the violations that Rodney committed when O.J. was just as complicit?
O.J. wasn't as complicit in some of the things that happened, and I think I've proven that, because he wasn't the direct beneficiary of a lot of the things that was happening. So,
but he got something he wouldn't have had access to otherwise, and he got what he wanted.
Yeah, but at the same time, how can you, I, or anyone else really sit here and blame him when his circumstances, he's born into this world, he didn't have a choice about the situation that he was born into. His circumstances dictated that he survive in a system that has a set, or I should say a set of guidelines on which you conduct yourself if you want to survive. He played within the rules of the game, and this is the game. Runners, agents, shoe companies, other elements, this is the game. He had no choice but to play it. Considering his circumstance, considering what was going on in his life, considering how he was living, O.J. had no choice but to play this game.